So we're out here at Valencia testing the brand new Ducati Panigale V4. This bike is totally brand new from the frame, engine up, and it is a monster. This engine is totally redesigned. It's the first V4, well, besides the Desmo Sedici RR, which pretty much was an exclusive bike, not for the normal customer. But this is the first venture into the V4 realm, which, you know, Ducati's been dominant since exactly like the 851. I mean, in what, 1987 that bike came out? And the twins have always been the best thing on this earth. I mean, I personally own 3 of them. So it's like, I love this brand, I love the twin. And I was very skeptical right from the get-go. But you get on this bike, it's sick. So you got 214 horsepower, which sounds completely out of hand crazy, but of course you have all the electronics that go with it that make this bike literally effortless to ride for any style of rider. Like, I'm pushing this as hard as I could, and I'm still like, and not even in a league of half of these guys, you know, but it's just, the electronics work so well. Everything was redesigned. The frame is all brand new, uses the engine as a stretch member. And the fairings, you can see how they're all redesigned there. It gives it more. There's 2 huge air scoops on the front that for intake air that, you know, like this thing needs to breathe any better. And I mean, the comfort, it's Panigale comfort, just like the 959, 1199, and the 1299. But it's just set up so perfect for like my frame. I'm 5', almost 6 foot, and everything's right. The triangle's perfect, everything, you know. But back to the electronics on this bike. I mean, it's foolproof. I mean, you could go around a corner and just freaking get on it. And I'm using traction control on number 3 right now. And literally coming onto the back straight, you could just chuck it right wide open. And it's a really hard left-hand corner, 14. And I mean, I'm always afraid. If I was on my 1198, I'd be freaking high side and then probably still landing here. And then when you're on it, there's this very sweet zone from like 7 to 8,000 all the way up to like maybe 12, where it is just bullet, bullet, bullet. And I mean, you cannot, you couldn't go any faster if you tried to. Obviously it has the whole Brembo brake setup. It's the new ones. They're called synonymous, and they're a brand new setup, and they feel just as good as the ones in the 1299. I really couldn't tell much of a difference between the braking on this and the 1299. But the suspension, it was funny because after 3 sessions, this is the second series of their electronic suspension. I forgot about the suspension. Like, I didn't even have to think about it because it works that well. So I mean, you just put this in your mode and you're done. The new thing right here is the management system for all the electronics. So you have your typical ABS, you have your traction control, and then you have engine braking, which I was fooling around a little bit, but I mean, that's for another, you know, a hardcore level of rider. And there's a slide control now, where you could pretty much, like, going into turn 2, just dump on the back brake, like thinking like adventure style riding, and it actually slides out and it controls it for people that do that. That's not my style of riding, but it looks really cool. So you'll have all that, and then it has the quick shifter up and down, flawless. Use the clutch getting out of the pits and you're done. You know, this is it. So yeah, and it's like I said, 214 horsepower. The 1299 had 197 horsepower, and this thing, you know, you think it would be more brutal, but the 1299 is actually way closer to like a prepped MotoGP bike. I mean, it's controllable. I would own this as a street bike. I mean, that's how you could just ride it, you know, at pace, and then if you want to get on it, you're on it. So I mean, everything works very well on it. Stay clicked to Ultimate Motorcycling, and you'll have a full review. I'll have my fast facts up already, and then we're going to do another full review, and I'll get into more detail about all the specifics. And yeah, that's pretty much it though, man.